All right, welcome on this Wednesday morning, February 24th. Today's reading is in chapters 5 and 6 of 1 Samuel. Today's video will probably be a little bit shorter. Where we left off, a day of catastrophe for the Hebrews. They lost a significant battle, and the high priest Eli and his sons, the lower priest Hophni and Phinehas, suffered a fatality in battle, and the ark of God was lost to the Philistines. And so we go into chapter number 5, and we realize that while this ark was not some good luck charm for the Hebrews, it's going to be, as it were, a bad luck for the Philistines. It's a war trophy, and so but they also have a certain respect for Yahweh, the God of the Hebrews, as we saw in chapter 4, because they realized that when God was with these Hebrews, that they were able to accomplish quite a bit. The Philistines had remarked of how the Hebrews had overcome Egypt, a great empire of that time, and so they realized there's something to this Jewish God. So when they bring the ark back to their land, they're going to set it in the temple of their primary god, Dagon. It's a trophy, but it's also perhaps a hope that maybe they can co-reside here somehow. Well, if that was their hope, that these two gods could cohabitate the same land and the same temple, and perhaps even turn in favor of the Philistines, they were wrong. There's going to be a series of events where they go into their temple in the morning and see first their idol that they constructed to Dagon is going to be laying on the ground, and then it's going to lose its structural integrity eventually. Well, the people of the surrounding area began to get sores, and they realized that having this piece of sacred Hebrew furniture in their vicinity is not a wise thing to do. So they pass it along to the next town, hoping others will want to get in on occupying this ark. However, the pattern continues in the subsequent locations to where eventually they are devising a plan of how do we get rid of this thing. We need to send it back to the Hebrews and even return it with reparations, a guilt offering, which included some gold. However, they want to be certain that the bad luck that had accompanied their taking quasi-ownership of this ark, that it was not just random, that the health outbreaks were not just random things, but was responsible because of their capturing of the ark. So they said, all right, we're going to put it on a trailer that's pulled by cattle that's never pulled before. And in fact, these cattle are going to have young calves, and so they're not going to want to take off with a trailer pulling something. And we're going to see how random it is. If this is really the power of the Hebrew God that is causing this sickness on our land, well, then he's going to be able to have this unlikely cattle carry this ark to an unlikely destination. So they're going to follow the ark and see where it's going to go. And don't you know, the cattle carry it exactly where it was supposed to go. And, you know, it gets us through chapters number 5 and number 6. Briefer reading for today. And so in just a few moments that I'll take, want to take an inventory of the experiences that we've read thus far, And that helps us to begin to synthesize some of the material that we've collected thus far. This is in no particular order of priority. However, we've seen now the Philistines have been portrayed as a relevant counterpart to the Hebrews. These Philistines we're going to continue to see in this, the writings of 1st and 2nd Samuel. The Ark of God, the Ark of the Covenant. Also, we will revisit that piece of sacred furniture once more in these writings. And we also see God's favor and God's unfavor as well at work. God's favor is on Samuel. God's favor is certainly on the piece of sacred furniture here of the ark. However, God's not favoring the Philistines, who are treating the ark with disrespect. However, he wasn't favoring his own people when they were letting the priesthood get away with disrespect on the altar. Okay, then perhaps most significantly from a literary point of view here is Samuel. We didn't read about him in chapters 5 or chapter 6, but it was of his unique birth story that opened up this book. And we're going to see his character continue to develop. He's still young, but he's going to take on a lot of responsibility, trying to be a glue that holds all of these variables and factors together. And so as we go into the readings over the next couple of days, the message of 1 Samuel will begin to take greater form. All right, I'll see you again tomorrow.